Hi there and welcome to the channel. If this is your first time here, please consider subscribing and also hitting that like button. Right, today we enter the testosterone fueled world of the 80s action movie, a world where body count and bullet count were king, much to the annoyance of the lobby groups here in the UK and also in the US. This was a time that made megastars out of people such as Arnold Schwarzenegger and also Sylvester Stallone, Jean-Claude Van Damme. Films such as Commando, the Rambo series, RoboCop, all of these films were filled with action galore, explosions, bullets, body counts that were astronomical, and they were just times of insane fun. These movies were great, and one such movie that I think was really great amongst all these, and I'm sure for you guys out there too, was the wonderful 1987 film Predator, directed by John McTiernan and starring, yes, get to the chopper, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Yes, this is the film that I'm going to talk about now. So, the basic premise of the film is that Dutch, played by Arnold Schwarzenegger, and his team have been recruited by Dylan, played by Carl Weathers, to go and rescue some hostages from the Central American jungle who were being held captive by guerrillas. In the dead of night, Dutch and his team are dropped down into the jungle by helicopter, and they then begin to search for the guerrilla encampment. Along the way, one of the team, Billy, discovers the corpses of three men who have been skinned and left hanging from the trees, along with a helicopter that's been absolutely ripped open of all electronics, etc. Now, Dutch becomes a bit suspicious at this point because he finds that the dog tags belong to three Green Berets, one of them whom he knows quite well. So, on discovering the camp, well, all mayhem breaks loose by then. To be honest, it's action, action, action. It's probably one of the most intense scenes in the film when they storm the guerrilla camp. I mean, I'm not being funny, but you've got like sort of an immense array of gunfire, explosions, bodies flying here, there, and everywhere. It is just an action scene that is just full on. I mean, it's an action scene on steroids and enough to turn the stomach of every god-fearing lobbyist around, as I did and with many films in the 80s, because of the amount of obviously bullets that were being fired, the amount of people that seemed to get shot on screen. I mean, yeah. But to be honest with you, the amount of mayhem and carnage in that scene is enough to embarrass any seasoned Call of Duty player out there. Now, the team are desperate to get out of this situation. However, the extraction team have declared that this is far too difficult at the moment due to the amount of guerrilla activity in the area. So, Billy is tasked to find an alternative route, which involves, unfortunately, having to trek through the Central American jungle. Throughout the film, we're carried along by the wonderful, wonderful atmospheric soundtrack of Alan Silvestri. He was responsible for doing the soundtrack for Back to the Future, and also further on in his career, it would be The Abyss and also Forrest Gump. Now, Predator was the brainchild of Stan Winston, and Predator is up there along with Alien as one of the most memorable, iconic characters of pop culture. Now, before I go on any further, I just want to say I'm not going to review the whole film blow by blow. That would take ages. However, what I would suggest is if you want to see it, and I highly recommend that you do because it's an absolute blistering film of the 80s, one of the best I think made, then check it out either on Blu-ray, DVD, or if you have the Disney Plus subscription, check it out on there, because not only have you got the first Predator film, you've got all of the other ones that followed, including Alien vs. Predator and Alien vs. Predator Requiem. So I will say a quick shout out, thank you Disney for putting all of the Predator films out on one channel. Props to you guys, thanks for that. Now the film becomes one man against the Predator. Now Dutch has made his way across the river bridge, along with Anna, one of the last surviving guerrillas, who's tagged along with the team ever since. He tells her to make a run for it, Billy stands his ground, refusing to go with them, drops his arms into the river, and basically awaits whatever fate befalls him at the hand of the alien. Now, Dutch has already learned from Anna that they wounded the creature in one of the firefights in the jungle, thereby causing Dutch to utter the unforgettable phrase, "If it bleeds, we can kill it." He then goes forward into the jungle, slips, falls into a waterfall, and manages to swim, injured and exhausted, to a nearby island, where he then hides himself under the cover of wood, branches, tree stumps, and awaits his fate at the hands of the predator himself. Now, I'm not going to go too in depth in the conclusion of this film. It really is worth seeing for yourself, but it does become a matter of a battle of wits and intelligence between Dutch and the predator. And at one point, they almost become equals in that the predator strips himself of all of his technological weaponry and they engage in hand to hand combat, although skewed in Predator's favour. It really is a well made film. You know, the conclusion, from the opening scene to the soundtrack by Alan Silvestri, the direction of John McTiernan, the casting, um, the sheer action in the movie itself, all of it. It just makes Predator an absolute must watch movie. One of the best of the 80s. And yes, again, I would urge you to check it out. It's a fun film, worth a look. And then, you know, as I say, if you enjoy that one, check out the sequels that came after it. Anyway, thanks for watching, taking the time to listen to this review, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care all. Bye.